If you love modded maps in Conan Exiles, you're in for a treat. 4 months ago I showed you Wolves Beyond the Border, a modded map created by Lieutenant Scarro based on the original Conan the Barbarian story Beyond the Black River. Today we return to Bossonia, because only 5 months after its release it's already had 2 expansions, adding new dungeons, extending the map, secrets, loot, and even an overground expedition. There's no time to waste, so let's get back to the Wolves Beyond the Border. Firstly, the Attack on Velitrium expansion. This adds a new overground dungeon taken directly from the events of Beyond the Black River. That story culminates with a failed siege on the city of Velitrium, and that experience is on offer here. Journey to Cormac's camp in the north in map square F13 and trade him 25 silver coins for a map to Velitrium, which, after reading, will take us directly to the start of the siege. The road to Velitrium is littered with beasts and tribesmen eager to cut down any Aquilonian that crosses their path. The journey north has already seen the bloodshed of those unfortunate enough to cross paths with the tribesmen, and on the western coast, the smouldering remnants of a ruined fishing village lie in ash. Just south of that ruined village, straight from beyond the Black River, Balthus and his dog Slasher, who will send you on a quest to Velitrium to retrieve his quiver. He might also sound strangely familiar. So I managed to drop my quiver somewhere in Velitrium. It has my steel-tipped arrows and, well, I need it back. Following the road north, we reach the besieged city of Velitrium. Fire and smoke rages within its walls, and the Bossonians war with the tribesmen. At the helm of the city, the Pictish wizard Zogar Sag stands proud over the destruction. Slay him and save Velitrium from the Pictish tribes. Now there are spoilers ahead for this dungeon, so if you want to play through it yourself as it was intended, which I do recommend, skip ahead to the timestamp on screen now. However, if you don't mind spoilers, we are going to spoil it all. So, with that, let's get into it. Back at the start of the expedition, interact with the barrel beside the destroyed cart to collect Tiberius's wine. You'll need this later for the fast exit. In Velitrium, you can find Balthus's quiver behind the well at the centre of the village. Grab that as it's necessary to get all the rewards. Hand it back to Balthus to get the cave key, which we'll use later on. When you fight Zogar, you'll have a pretty tough ordeal on your hands, as you'll have to defeat his White Heron warrior guards, a giant snake with 11k health, and Zogar himself. Zogar will drop skeleton keys, the Velitrium key, and his staff. You can open the house behind him and go to the basement to find the skeleton key loot chests, alongside Halric Wolfblade, who will give you the stable key if you give him Zogar's staff and Tiberius's wine. Halric also has custom voice acting, which is very nicely done.
Conan Johara is lost. We must return to Aquilonia before the Picts try again.
Head directly north of Zogar Sag's house and off the back of the cliff to find a cave door. Inside you'll find and fight a 3-skull bat demon who drops 4 skeleton keys. Behind him are the 4 legendary loot chests that you will use those keys on. Finally, to exit the expedition, you can either run right back to the start and interact with the cart, or preferably, open the stables next to Zogar's house with the stable key and interact with the cart there to take you back to Cormac's camp. The Attack on Velitrium is a really fun take on a dungeon, and feels incredibly unique as an overworld expedition as opposed to delving into caves or dark layers. The Velitrium update also added lore journals, more recipe books, a new spawn location and various bug fixes, alongside a pretty snazzy custom main menu. That alone would be enough for a showcase video, but Wolves Beyond the Border has had 2 expansions since we covered it last. So, let's get into the second one. Before now, the map of Wolves Beyond the Border looked like this. However now, west of the Black River, you'll find a whole new area to explore. This is the Pictish Wilderness expansion. To the north is the deciduous forest, a large landmass with lakes and rivers, painted with trees and dotted by caves and the camps of various tribes. This area is pretty huge with plenty of space to explore, fight and build. Just like the rest of the map, this biome has no build blockers and there's plenty of easily buildable space, so you can create your own fortresses and castles with really relative ease. Not only does this biome include all of those aforementioned features, but there are various deep caves and dungeons too. There's a cave full of locusts, a huge winding cavern that plays host to the bear tribe, including a familiar face at the end, and my favourite, an enormous spider cave named Leng's Descent. This cave is home to the spider tribe, and just when you think it's going to end, it keeps going, culminating in a fight with a gigantic spider of Leng. The deciduous forest is a seriously impressive biome, and though it's not even finished yet, it's huge and offers plenty of space for basically everything you need. I imagine this area will be a favourite for role players. To the south are the redwoods. This area is smaller and streaked with rivers that slice the biome up, and of course contains a huge number of redwood trees amongst its regular forest. This area is incredibly dense and immersive, packed with wildlife, world bosses, and some impressive natural features too. The landscape also has some smaller caves containing various resources, and though this is a smaller biome than the deciduous forest to the north, it really doesn't feel small at all. The variety and density, alongside the landscape itself, really makes the area feel a lot larger than it actually is. I also think Lieutenant Scarro knows I like to search for secrets under the map, as I found this too. The Pictish Wilderness expansion is a hefty addition to an already expansive map, and this video has only covered the major additions. Alongside each update has come bug fixes, adjustments, smaller additions and more. Wolves Beyond the Border is still in alpha, yet it's coming along very nicely. Lieutenant Scarro himself told me that work has already begun on the next expansion, and given the quality of what's been added already, I think this map is going to end up being one of the best. If you're on PC and you enjoy modded maps, definitely give this one a go, and if you want to keep track of development, the link to Lieutenant Scarro's Discord and YouTube channels are in the description. Discord is of course the best place to keep track of the patch notes, and YouTube is where he releases trailers for the major expansions. And there we have it, our second look at Wolves Beyond the Border, a Bossonian modded map by Lieutenant Scarro. Thank you for watching. The map was already impressive the last time we looked, but even so early in development, it's coming a really long way, and I'll be continuing to showcase this mod and its development, as to be honest, I think it's going to be really good. Thank you for watching, and of course, a massive thanks to our wonderful esteemed coffee cultists for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. Don't forget to drop a like on the video and make sure you subscribe for more Conan reviews, builds, guides, news, lore videos and more. Take care, and I'll see you soon.